Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
We are back yet again for an all-new, creepy old Crypt. We don't. This isn't something we just kind of easily go willy-nilly on. We always try to pick the best location to record it.
Yeah.
We take the time. We did some very thorough research today in the parks, going around to get the best location, scouting, places we'd never recorded before.
Yeah.
And we settled on, we are on Main Street, USA, Plaza Inn.
With the Astro Orbiter behind us.
Yeah, so, again, we're putting thought into it. We're not just setting the backpack down. We scoured the park all day. But the one thing we didn't do is wait in a big line. Because as you can see, we're just in an open area. But the irony of that is today's episode is going to be our favorite ride queues of all time. When you have to wait in line, a lot of times you do, the way theme parks are, you're waiting in line a long time to go on any of these big attractions. So which rides do it the best?
Yeah.
Where you're waiting in line, but you're in like, oh, I like being in here. Like, I enjoy it.
We both made lists.
Yes.
And we don't know what each other's lists
No.
are.
No.
So
we're each going to do our top 5.
Yeah.
So he's got his own top 5. I got my own top 5. We're gonna go back and forth probably. Yeah. We're also, before we reveal the top choice for best ride queue, and someone just got murked in front of the Astro Orbiter. But not only are we doing top 5, we also jotted down the top 5 worst queues, where it's like it's a misery waiting for this line or for this ride because of this queue. So we're gonna cover both sides. Don't worry about that. We got we're all sides are going to be covered.
Surprisingly hard.
It was kind of well, we're only doing top 5, and I actually my favorite queues. I thought of like 50 of them that I like.
Yeah.
So I had to narrow it down was tough. I had to eliminate some ones I really like.
Yep.
It was like that for you.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then also top 5 worst. Kevin has a philosophy here, and it made it very difficult, which is like Kevin, and you've said this about other things before.
Yeah.
Kevin doesn't dwell on things that suck.
Yeah.
Because you've told me, it's like, if it's bad, it's out of your memory.
Why waste energy on bad stuff?
Yeah.
That
sucked, gone,
So it's like, why do I dwell on something like, oh, this line sucked. Why would I remember that for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
No.
So
let's move on.
That was hard, but I did have a couple that immediately came to mind. Like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate waiting in line in this area,
Yeah.
So we're going to get into some good stuff.
Yeah.
We should say, because it would be, I don't want to pass up an opportunity to do something douchey on here, because I am a huge douche. But we did get to go, we just got out of the
Disney Vacation Club.
The lounge in Tomorrowland.
It's like Starlight Lounge or
Starlight. I have the pin. I had it on me. I put it in my backpack. But Starlight Lounge, Star Place 150 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there is a secret lounge in Tomorrowland in the Carousel Progress building.
Yep.
And we got to go in there, and not only do they have original Tomorrowland props in there and like models that were made for Walt and things like that. Not only do they have that, screw that. That's nothing. They got Coke Freestyle machines. Two of them. And you're not going to believe this. Unlimited Cheez-Its.
All you can eat.
Yeah. So thank you. Shout out. We got, I don't know if he wants me to shout him out or not. So I'll ask him. Yeah. And in a future episode, I'll shout him out because I don't know if he wants me to say his name or not. But shout out. You know who you are. Thanks for letting us get in there.
Totally.
Anyway, so we just go. I'm full of raspberry Coke and Cheez-Its now.
I had way too much soda.
I didn't have a drink all day because I'm like, dude, I'm hearing there's free soda in here. I'm going to wait. Why would I pay for a soda?
Yeah.
So I had some popcorn earlier, and I'm like, dude, I'm waiting for that soda. And then I got in there, and I had about 13 custom sodas. Or I had orange Coke. I had raspberry Sprite. Yeah. I had Barks something. Yeah. So I feel crazy right now. I feel like my blood is soda. So if this goes a little haywire, if we're not acting right, we're full of those soft drinks. Yeah. People at home, leave a comment. Do you call it soda? Do you call it pop? Do you call it
Coke for everything?
Do you call it soft drink, or do you just call everything Coke? Yeah. Leave a comment. State your allegiance. Yeah. Do you know anyone? What?
I'm team soda. It's called soda.
Do you know many people that go pop?
No. But I've been
because I know that exists, but I
I've
never
been in
encountered
other
it.
states where everybody's just like, oh yeah, do you want
just
some
get
pop?
pop.
Do you want some pop?
Yeah.
I've never known anybody that does it, but I've experienced it.
Yes.
Don't travel.
Now who says soda pop? I feel like
Grandparents, like
I feel like I know at least some old people that
Yeah.
do that, but I don't know anyone that just says pop.
yeah.
You don't want a pop? I'll get you guys a pop.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone, but I have heard soda pop, and it's all. Yeah, you're right. They're all old people.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a kid being murdered, by the way, back there. We've heard this is twice today. We've heard
Just
where it's like a kid is
detonated.
being drawn and quartered. Anyway, okay, so shall we get to our list? So that we're gonna start the top 5 ride queues. What do you like? What makes it better? What is an enjoyable experience waiting in line? We should also say our criteria here. We were having a debate, like, do you count, like, where there's certain rides, where does the ride begin and where does the line end, kind of thing, like Haunted Mansion, for example.
It's
you
like-
walk in and then you start going through like the stretching room and stuff like
and
that.
then there's more line after that.
Is
so
that part of it? But I think it is.
I would count that.
It's leading you
There's
to
multiple rides that do that. I would count that.
So we're going to count that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't like that criteria, make your own show. All right. You want to start?
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
No,
Should we do?
I'll start.
Johnny would say right now, why don't we flip a coin? Johnny, I've noticed, is the flip a coin guy in the group.
Yes.
Because recently, every time I brought up, like, okay, do you want to, do you want to go to Universal Studios? Do you want to go the night before?
Yeah.
He will jump straight to, instead of like trying to plan it, he
Yeah.
will jump straight to, all right, give me a coin, I'll flip it. It's like, oh, we're putting all this on a coin? No offense to Johnny,
No,
but
not at all.
that's the way he rolls. That's the way the coin flips, so to speak.
I will go first.
Okay, so you got your number 5.
Number 5.
I'm going to look up my, by the way, we're recording audio with my
Do we want to do
phone.
honorable mentions first?
Oh, shoot. I kind of feel like maybe we should start.
I think if we do honorable mentions first, it'd be kind of weird because there's some honorable mentions that for me that might be on yours and vice versa.
I think we should do honorable mentions and the worst ones like between 2 and 1.
Okay.
So let's
Sounds good
just
with me.
kick off. I had to load my list on my watch. This is where we are in the
Yeah.
future because I can't
'Cause we're
use my
recording.
phone. We're recording with my phone, so I've got them loaded up on my watch. This is the future that we've earned. Okay. All right, I see my number 5. I went back and I changed my list 50 times. So you're gonna start number 5.
I'm gonna start. It's not even a park that you've been to or even a Disney park.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My number 5 is Hex at Alton Towers.
Wait. What? Oh, we are starting weird. What?
It's gonna be weird.
Because I told Kevin, I was like, do you think our lists are gonna be similar? And you laughed and went, no.
I knocked one out that you probably have on your list for Hex.
Okay.
Hex is amazing because
what
the
is
queue is inside an actual like remnant of a castle. Basically, it's not a castle.
This is in the
Alton
UK?
Towers is- in the UK.
Where exactly in the UK? Is it in like London or
Stratfordshire, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think
Something like
so,
that.
something like that.
Okay.
It's not far from like Manchester and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hex is like almost like Blair Witch the ride, kind of.
Really?
It's almost like a found footage thing. The story of the ride is
Whoa.
basically they were renovating this place and they found a bricked up passage.
Whoa.
And you get to go into
Perfect
that passage.
backstory
Yeah,
for
that's
an
it.
attraction.
That's it. But the line is in this construction zone.
Yeah.
So it's this old thing, and
Yeah.
and the people helping you are dressed in construction gear, and you're going through
this is awesome.
You're going
I
through
love
the
it.
queue, and everything's like a construction site.
Yeah.
You hear working. You hear like they pipe in the speakers like chiseling
Yeah.
and things like that. And the entire queue is just setting you up for this experience later
Yeah.
because it's not really a ride.
Yeah. What is it? Is it a walkthrough?
It's a walkthrough with special effects and a the end thing is kind of like a ride. They call it like a
Okay.
madhouse attraction.
Okay.
And
This sounds
I
cool.
don't want to spoil it for anybody, but
Yeah.
it's cool. And so basically that queue
Yeah.
is just super dark. It's barely lit in there, and it's super creepy.
Yeah.
And you walk through this thing, and you get to they've decorated it so it's a construction zone, but super creepy.
Yeah.
And they then you just go into the first room that shows you like a video,
Yeah.
tells you the story, and then you go to another room, and then the final thing.
Wow.
But the queue part before that first video is one of my favorites. The
Yeah.
atmosphere and the theming is so well done.
So it's actual history too.
Yeah.
Wow, you can't-
it takes an old tale
Yeah,
from that area
yeah.
and expands it into a thing. Hex, I think, is my favorite ride at Alton Towers.
Yeah.
Because of that, and it's not a roller coaster, it's not a dark ride, it's a weird in between.
Yeah.
And I love it. So that's my number
Man.
5 is Hex
Wow.
at Alton Towers.
I never would have thought of
Yeah.
that. I never knew that. Now I'm going to go look this up.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should just go there. Seriously.
I've been a couple times, and Hex is always, there's never any long wait because it's not a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I don't care about roller coasters that much. So.
No, yeah. I don't ever think about rides in the UK because I just assume they're all
Yeah.
going to be like Mr. Bean or something.
No,
Like,
this
"Ooh."
one, they did have a Willy Wonka ride at one point.
They did.
Yeah. It was a boat ride, a dark ride.
It was a boat ride. Oh, the boat. Was it the?
No,
was it?
It wasn't
There's
the boat.
No,
and it was based on the, it wasn't based on the movie, it was based on the book. So.
There's no earthly way of knowing. if they had a boat ride where some guy, there was an actor on each boat as
Yeah.
Wonka, which direction we are going, that would be my favorite ride of all time. You see a chicken get his head cut off. People forget that's in the movie.
Yeah.
A chicken gets his head cut off in
and
the
then,
Willy
and then,
Wonka.
and then she turns away.
Ah! It's like, yeah, that shouldn't be in this movie. Okay.
So that's my number 5. So
Okay.
starting off weird.
Yeah. I'm starting number 5, but it's not that weird.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be weird in the sense of like, really? You picked this?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, whoa, what an obscure ride. I fought, and I'm actually kind of going, am I sure I did the right thing here?
You're going to have
Because
regrets
I
after
do think there are I do think there's other stuff that is technically a little more impressive.
this. Yeah.
But this is my favorite, not your favorite. So I am going number 5, Star Tours. Star Tours.
I can see that for sure.
You know, I'm not going to say it's my favorite ride of all time.
Yeah.
There is an electricity and a buzz in the wait for that ride where they get you excited to be on. Welcome to Star Tours Travel Agency. It's got an iconic sound. Da-da-doo-da-doo.
Yeah.
We're going to Nefarious Naboo to see the underwater cities and the planet core. We're gonna go through the clouds of Bespin to bring you the cruise of a lifetime on Star Tours. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. There is just a fun electricity in that ride. And they've got 3PO going, oh, get the ship ready. You got them going.
Things going wrong.
You got the security robot going, how do I know you're not a shape-shifting clone? And I'm talking about the new one. Even in the previous version, though, they were carrying robot parts.
That was the only thing I missed from the old one.
Yeah.
Is the kinetic energy of having the trays that are going around.
I missed
on a
that
track.
too.
I loved that, but everything else.
And they would
is
play
great.
the little kind of Return of the Jedi era, like robot. The robots are playing their own radio station.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. I do miss that. Whether it's the old version or the new one, there is just, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
There's an electricity and a fun energy to Star Tours where they make you excited, like, you made it to Star Tours. Get ready for the cruise of a lifetime. I don't know. I've always, since my whole life, I've always had fun being in the queue.
Yeah.
As much fun as even writing it to me. It's just like being in that.
That's a great.
building.
We just wrote it today. It was really good.
And I'm thinking of the Disneyland version. I don't know about comparisons to the other one.
I don't think I've ever been on the one in Florida.
I think I've been on all of them.
I went to the one in Paris, but I've never been on the one in Florida.
I did Paris, Tokyo. Paris was still the old one until not that long ago.
Yeah.
And
that's why I wrote it.
That was so much fun. Oh my God. So, yeah, I don't know. I've just always dug it. I've always really dug it. So yeah, but it's killing me because I bumped out some really beloved ones to put, and I was like, am I doing the right thing putting Star Tours there? I don't know. So you'll have to tell me if you guys agree or not. So anyway, that's my number 5. All right, you going to number 4 now?
Number 4.
Okay.
And this is probably on your list, but I don't know where. Maybe high.
Okay. Oh, let me just say real quick.
Yeah.
Our lists, I know, are going to be different.
100%.
I still think my gut says we're going to have the same number 1. I think
so.
But I don't know. My gut, I just have a feel. I'm not going to say what it is, but in my head, I'm thinking like, we're going to have the same number 1.
I hope that the one you think is number 1 is one of the ones in my in my other list.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Number 4. So your number 4 is next.
Number 4 is next.
Okay.
My number 4 is Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
That's my number 4.
Okay.
I love that, and that also includes the turntable thing, the thing in them and all stuff like that. I know that's my number 4.
So
I love it. I love the whole lead up with the I love changes in
Yes.
like, okay, now you're going through caves. Now you're going through this. Now you're
Yes.
going through that. And
Yeah.
that does it to a T. It's so good.
Yeah.
And then the lead up that sends you to the second part of the line is great too.
I mean, this is a queue that has its own ride vehicle.
Yep.
I can't think of any other attraction. Well, by
Yeah.
the way, let me just say, I'm going to chime in on this one as well. We might as well consolidate because I'll let you know now. My number 4 is Rise of the Resistance. They are so we have converged.
We've converged. Okay, good.
You go through these caverns.
Yeah.
Even the caverns have their own backstory. You could see etchings from like old civilizations.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going on here? Oh, the rebels or the resistance or whatever carved out a place to stay in these caves that were once occupied by these like fairy-like creatures
and you can
on
see
Batuu.
that they're like nests and stuff
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
And then the things where they blasted late were like lasers and
They laser cut the hallways.
Cut hallways and
Yeah.
stuff. It's really cool.
So there's backstory there.
Yeah.
You go through all that. Then you have the pre-show where Ray tells you like, hey, this base is not safe anymore.
Yeah.
We got to fly to a base on Picara, so we're going to load you into ships. Then you're back outside.
Yeah.
And there's an X-Wing parked outside to like, yo, we're going to guide you.
Yeah, we're
Get
going to
it.
take you there.
Then they load you on a ship, and then you board a vehicle to take you to the rest of the queue.
Yeah.
There's no other ride like this.
Yeah.
It feels like, we stepped into a Star Wars movie.
Yep.
And they built it all one-to-one. It isn't like, oh, look at the hologram. Oh, look at the whatever. No, they built this.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have holograms too. But they did it all one-to-one.
Yeah.
And then you board the vehicle. It takes you, it actually physically transports you to the ride building where you get captured by the First Order. And then you're in a full-scale bay for the TIE Fighter.
Oh, so nice.
This, on a technical level, is number 1, probably. It's not my number 1, it's not your number 1, but like if you're going just by the technical stuff, it probably is the winner. I think maybe. Because it built all that to scale. Then you go in, and then they board you. Then they put you in a holding cell where you're a captive. I mean, this should be higher on both of our lists.
You're not even on the ride yet.
Yeah.
Like once you board the ride vehicles after that capsule thing. Once you're captured and everything like that.
Yeah. So it's really amazing.
Yeah.
And then they interrogate you. Then the rebels cut you out of the room. They cut a hole in the room, and then you get on the vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 50 things before you even get in the ride vehicle. It's truly amazing.
Yeah.
That is that ride is a triumph.
Yeah.
Like it's really incredible.
Yeah. I agree.
So it's pretty dumb. It's not our number 1.
It's
It
number
really
4.
is like.
So get excited. It's number 4.
Yeah.
So.
But this is our favorites. This isn't just going off a list of qualifications here. But how funny! Ours are both number 4.
Definitely.
So I'm with you on that. Should you want to just do number 3 now?
I think since your number 4 was the same as me, I'll do my number 3.
Okay.
And my number 3 is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Oh, okay.
I've never read the books, and I don't care about the movies, but that queue is so well done in terms of special effects.
Yes.
And you're going through like tons of different like areas, and again, it changes constantly. You're like, oh, this area, this area, this area.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced something like that. Apparently there's effects that don't work anymore, but I think that from a technical standpoint is just edging out Rise of Resistance to me. Just because it is like, I don't know, there's just
the theming of it is incredible.
The theming of it is really good, and
it feels like you are not in the park anymore.
No.
Like you are. It really is. I think maybe this is it. You tell me.
Yeah.
With Star Wars, they did it 100% perfect.
Yes.
But there is a level of shininess, cleanness, fictionalness to Star Wars, where Harry Potter, they made it feel like, oh, they live here.
Yes.
Oh, and I think, tell me if I'm wrong here. By the way, I'm chiming in on this because my number 3 is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So again, the lists have converged. So we picked the same number 3. I'm telling you,
it's not too far. Like it was hard to pick. So this isn't like insanely better than Rise of Resistance.
Yeah.
It was just this edged it out a bit.
Yes.
Because of walking through the thing and finding there's new stuff I'd never seen before. Every time I go. So
yes. But what I was going to say was I find. Tell me if you agree with this or not. When it comes to theme parks, I just feel like something about the brain or at least our brain,
Yeah.
will always favor the more old-timey, like
It's dark and dingy.
if they recreate something that's like from an older period,
Yes.
it's always going to be a little more magical than like sci-fi.
Yes.
You know what I
To
mean?
me.
So like 100% 10 out of 10 nailed it with Star Wars, but something will always be more magic when you're in an old castle.
Yeah.
Or you're in the Old West. Or that will always be more magic. And
Yeah.
I think that, and let me tell you, I feel like pulling teeth right now ranking something from Harry Potter above Star Wars.
Yes.
That's just me. I'll go on record and say I don't like Harry Potter.
No,
I've
Star
never
Wars
liked
is
it.
so much better, but we're talking
never
about
liked it,
just
but
the cues. And,
you can't deny it.
And the
It
ride,
is- yeah.
the Harry Potter ride, not nearly as good as Rise of Resistance. Like,
Yeah. Now, see, I've never been on it, so I'm not going to vote on
No,
that.
Rise of Resistance is so much better.
Okay.
But the cues,
Yes.
Harry Potter just edges it out.
I
just that
can't
bit.
deny it. That queue is amazing.
Yeah.
I've never been on the ride, but I've walked through the queue 100 times.
Yep.
I don't want to, you're going backwards or something. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. But the queue, it's unbelievable. I could just spend all day in there.
Yeah.
And there's just so much detail and history in there, and things moving and things that shouldn't be in there.
Yep.
And it's so... that's one of the, that would honestly, if you picked it as your number one, I wouldn't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I would be like, this is one of the best ones. So I'm actually really curious what 2 and 1 are going to be, because that should, again, that's one of the best cues ever. So
Dude,
but
maybe
I'm telling you,
maybe the rest of our things are just gonna sync up. I don't know.
I think we're going to diverge on the next one. I don't think we're going to have the same number 2. I do think we're going to have the same number 1. What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not sure.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Now, my number 2,
Yeah.
this is risky. My number 2 is also not I have diverted from Disney.
Ooh.
My 2 is another Universal ride.
Okay.
So yours isn't, right?
No.
Okay, then
It
we
is-
are diverging.
It is not. We are diverging.
We have become divergent. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is Flight of Passage.
Oh, that I have to. I'll just say right now,
Yeah.
that's in my honorable mentions. I was so close to including it. I was so glad it killed
Yeah.
me, but I didn't have room. But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
But
great.
I didn't know that'd be your number 2.
My number 2 is Flight of Passage because, yet again, I love starting in like the wilderness and then going into some caves.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, these caves are becoming more like built humans built stuff
Yeah,
in these. And
yeah,
then you're
yeah.
like, why are they? And then now you're in a weird bunker.
Yeah.
And then you go from the bunker into this huge lab
Yeah,
that has
yeah.
tons of stuff going on,
Yeah.
weird experiments going on,
Yeah,
the tables
yeah.
and everything. A huge animatronic in a
Yeah.
tank of an avatar,
Which is amazing.
Yeah,
That
which
part
is
is incredible.
which is great,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
And then you get put into the pre-show where
Yep.
the scientist tells you can fly. Best actor in the whole park.
Yeah. I love the kinetic energy of the waterfalls and
Yeah,
stuff at the beginning.
You can't do much
and
better than that.
All that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And just going through weird caves.
Yeah.
There's music and
Yeah.
animal like Pandora animal noises going on and
Yeah.
things like that.
They really feel, and this is, I'm gonna say a comment on it that is like, what?
Yeah.
There is almost a Resident Evil quality to this queue. And what I mean by that is starting in an organic thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we really doing? Going deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you're in the labs.
Yeah.
And then it almost feels like,
Because it's like Resident
it
Evil.
shouldn't be there.
Resident Evil always starts out in
Yeah,
some
yeah.
outdoor place,
Yeah.
and then or a house,
and then you
ends
see
up
why
in-
you're really there.
Yeah, in a deep lab.
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single
yeah.
one
Every
does
time,
this.
yeah.
So and,
I always get that vibe going through the Flight of
Yeah.
Passage ride. Yeah.
So the the lab stuff's great.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. I am
It is
very
amazing.
into stuff to see during the thing,
Yeah.
but not games.
Yeah,
I know Florida
yeah.
likes to put oh look at twist these things, isn't it fun?
Yeah.
I don't really like that.
Yeah,
I don't.
same here.
I don't like. If you touch this wall, it does squeal.
Yeah.
I don't like time killers.
Yeah.
In a thing, I want to organically.
Yes, I agree with you.
Experience something
Yeah.
and things. That's why none of my things are that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yeah.
And everything. The queue for that is cool. You're going through a mine.
Yeah.
But it's tons of like activities.
Yeah.
And
They added
that like I don't like that. And they added the Haunted Mansion thing.
In Florida, they got a Haunted Mansion interactive queue.
And it's like push the books in, and it's like
it's dorky.
I don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But stuff like in that queue is the tombstone with Leota and her eyes like open up occasionally and look around. Awesome.
That's cool.
But I don't want
because that's atmosphere. That's not like poke this.
I don't want touch the musical instruments and they make a saxophone noise. I don't like that.
Yeah,
none of my things are those.
I'm in total agreement with you.
Yeah, and Pandora or Flight of Passage is all that. Just experience, look at.
Yeah,
it's so good.
To me, it's
in Florida.
The ideal thing is make an atmosphere that I don't want to leave. Like that, I am like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah,
that's what makes the perfect queue to me.
Yeah.
I am surprised though that you rank that above the Harry Potter one. That Harry Potter one is magic, and I'd still put it above. I love the Flight of Passage queue, but I would still rank the Harry Potter one higher just because it's really, really dark and magical.
Yeah.
But the Pandora one really, it feels like they spared no expense in recreating that planet like you are again in the movie. Mm-hmm. But putting that above both Harry Potter and Rise of the Resistance, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised you did that.
I love that queue, man.
Yeah. It is good.
I'm very curious about your number 2.
Okay.
Now that we've diverged.
Do you have any idea what it would be?
If it's not a Disney, you said it's Universal.
It's Universal.
Is it E.T.?
E.T. When you go, first of all, you walk up to the ride. It's got funny signs all over it. Experience the suspense, the mystery. Then you walk in. The greatest director of all time walks onto a tube TV and
doesn't he go, "Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg"?
He goes, "Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg. We don't have a lot of time. Let's cut to the chase. You got to help E.T. get back to his planet. Let's go." Open the door, and then where are you? Well, first they take your name and a stupid thing.
Give a card.
And then where do you go? You're deep in a forest. That forest queue, I could be in there all day.
Do they still pump in the smell of pine?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did the last time I was there. And random things happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes the old E.T. or whatever the hell his name is.
Mine, that thing started talking and stuff.
Creature showed up, started talking. Every now and then, all of a sudden on the other side, like NASA dudes start popping up. Like, yo, we're here. Where are those kids? And you'll hear the kids running in the background. Yo, hide back here. Don't come over here. Okay, You know.
It's so cool. They have the speak and spell.
Yeah.
I think in that queue.
Yes.
I think ours had the original from the movie.
Oh, it did?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Or that one does now or something. I did hear that the original from the movie was used in the ride.
Whoa.
That could just be hearsay. I'm not sure, but I heard that. I heard that they took that contraption and put that in the queue.
Yeah. Damn, that's awesome. Well, that I don't know why. I just love that mysterious forest leading you to the ride. It just feels like there's stuff hidden all over it. Mm-hmm. What's lurking in it smells good. That's, to me, the epitome of a queue that I just never want to leave. Yes. Again, on a technical level, everything you've mentioned is better.
Yes.
But I love being in there.
Yeah, I just love when the director's like, "Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg."
Dude, you get to chat with a famous director, and then he turns you loose into this mysterious forest. It's like the ride is stuck in 1988 or something.
Yeah.
And I just love it. That is just, I love being in there. I just want to stay in there.
Yep.
So is that foolish?
That is a great queue.
Is it number 2 worthy? I don't know, but it was for me. So we both did our number 2. So your number 2 is Flight of Passage.
Yeah. So we go on.
Flight of Passage again is technically more impressive, but E.T. one kills me.
It's always because that's an awesome queue.
Yeah.
Awesome queue.
I wish I could just stay in there and die in there and never release from it. Okay, so we've got through.
Do you want to do honorable mentions first, or do you want to do worst?
Let's do the. We're gonna pause. Okay, so we're gonna pause on number 2. We're gonna get to our number 1 in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's do top 5 worst queues.
Okay.
And then we'll do honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And get them out of the way to be maybe surprised, like which one didn't you pick as number 1? Does that sound good?
Oh, I think that sounds great.
Okay. So now, real quick, we're gonna do top 5 worst.
Yeah.
What's your number 5 worst
My
queue?
number 5 worst is actually one of my favorite rides. I was telling you about this before, and it's true. The queue for Jurassic Park, not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? Again, I've never been on it. I've been in that area, but I don't know what the queue looks
The
like.
queue, it was a little better when it was the Jurassic Park ride. Now it's Jurassic World, but it was still just TV screens.
Yeah.
And John Hammond would just be on it talking back in the day.
Oh,
But it was
okay.
still just metal thing all the way and just had screens. That was
Oh.
it. There's not really that much theming
Okay.
at all. And now it's Jurassic World, and the stuff on the screens is like unbearable.
Really?
I've
never seen this. How funny.
Them talking like with like some of the people from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
That's fine and stuff. But they added these like quirky YouTube type videos
Ew.
that were all like real facts and it's about dinosaurs, and it's
Yeah.
just like, how much do you think a dinosaur poops? And it's like,
Oh.
oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that ride. But I never really wait that long in the queue because the line is never that long when you go when we usually go.
Yeah.
But I've never liked the queue for that ride.
How funny. I've never thought about the queue for it.
And it's not something you'd
shit.
want to like
It
go
wasn't
into.
gross,
Like you've never you don't go on that ride, but you've never like, let me see the queue though.
Yeah.
Nobody ever cares because it's just it's just a means to get to the end.
What a bummer.
Awesome ride. The queue is not that very good. That's my number 5.
How funny.
What's your number 5?
Okay, my number 5, it's a newer ride. I like the ride fine. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But the queue, I'm ranking mine by like queues that make me not want to ride the ride.
Yeah.
I'm going Spider-Man Web Slingers.
Oh, I've never been on that. But
The queue?
yeah.
No. I'm talking about California Adventure.
Oh,
You've
the
been on
one
that.
over here. Sorry,
Yes.
I forgot what the one in Florida is called.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
That was it.
That one's fine. No, that one has a funny cartoon in the line,
Okay.
so I like that one.
But yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if the queue is extended at all, they extend you in. If it is busy even whatsoever, they send you into some backstage hell area where you are in by like crates and shit.
Yeah.
That like where employees take their breaks.
Yeah.
And you're
I was
baking,
stuck in you with that, and that sucked.
You're baking in the sun in some backstage shithole.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids. It is horrible. Like I don't ever want to go.
Yeah.
You know, if I can cut right in or something like
Yeah,
that,
totally.
it's easy. But I just
And sometimes you go, and they're single rider and stuff like that. Occasionally, I haven't been on it in forever.
yeah.
So
That would be that's a mark against a ride.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you're number 4.
my number 4 is actually another ride that I enjoy, but
Okay.
I never really, the line keeps me from going on it.
Okay.
Not even the length because
Yeah.
it's consistent, but it's Peter Pan.
Oh.
Peter Pan, the line never gets longer or shorter ever, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's a popular ride, but it's just switchbacks forever.
Yeah. In one spot.
It's just
It feels like you're standing in the same
and then,
spot.
then you finally get to this weird, and then you're just constantly
Yes.
switch back, and it feels like it's never gonna end.
Yes, I agree.
No fault on the ride. It's a great ride, but I just
Yeah, I love that ride.
I don't go on it very much because I
Yeah.
know the waiting in the line is just gonna be soul-sucking.
Yep. Yeah, I
Florida,
agree.
they added
They did make it
interactive
better.
stuff, but
Yeah.
again, it's all like Connect games
Yeah,
and
and
stuff.
I don't
and
wanna
it's
do
like,
it.
I don't care about that.
Yep. I agree.
So, yeah, that's my number 4.
That's a very valid choice, I think.
Yeah.
My number 4 is the same thing. It's a Disney ride that I never end up going on because of the ride.
Yeah.
Or because of the queue.
Mhm.
I think they're starting a parade or something
Yeah.
soon, so you may hear something. It may get loud. Sorry. I'm going to say for my number 4, Toy Story Midway Mania.
Oh, that one sucks.
Feels like you are standing in one room for 8 days.
Yep.
And as a result, it's you gotta walk so far for that ride in California Adventure.
Yeah, it's at the very back of the park.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you go there and then you stand in one room.
Yeah.
That ride loads like ass. You can never get on it. So I hate standing there.
Yep.
That's my number 4.
That's my number 4. Okay, my number 3 is at Universal Studios. It's the Simpsons ride.
The Simpsons ride.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I never
Because
never
I
did
think
it.
the load unload is so bad.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
If there's even a small amount of crowd,
Yeah.
that becomes like an hour and a half instantly.
Yes. Yep.
And all there is in the line, it's just again constant switchbacks,
Yep.
and there's a growing theme. It's just screens. And now it's playing old Simpsons, but you're just watching old Simpsons
Yeah.
clips
Yep.
and waiting in a line that never moves, and then it's
Yep.
just, oh, here you go. Like, I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't. And again, I haven't been on that forever.
I've heard that
because-
from a bunch of people,
Yeah,
though.
the queue sucks
Yep.
in that.
What was that, 3? Your number three?
That was my number 3. Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 is for a ride I've never been on. I've experienced the queue, I've seen the queue, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm glad I'm not into roller coasters because I would rather die than be here.
Yeah.
It's at Knott's.
What is it?
It is Ghost Rider. Is that on your list?
That's my number 2.
Oh, is that your next
Yeah.
one? So you ranked it higher.
Yeah.
Kevin's done it more than me.
I think I ranked it higher because I've done it.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
Yes.
There's only one time I waited, actually, during a crowd.
Yeah.
And it was nightmarish.
Yeah.
It was like, and I think the worst part about it is it's 2 levels.
Yep.
So you go through these switchbacks at the bottom level and everything like that. Then you go up some stairs, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm close to being done. No, it is an equal number of switchbacks above.
Yeah.
So you just come up to see another sea of people.
Yep.
And it's like, I've already waited an hour.
Yep.
And it's like another, and the ride is fun, but not that, like.
I just feel like you roast in the sun uncovered for like 8 years.
Sucks.
Yeah.
And, but every time we go on that now, it's right before we do like Not Scary Farm or something.
Yeah,
and it
it's
is
dead.
walk on.
Yeah,
it is just
that is
you're
pretty
just
cool.
Gone, and so I've only waited for that one time.
Yeah.
And every other time it's just been walk on.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Yeah.
So
I knew that would be on your list
yeah.
somewhere.
So that's my number 2.
Okay.
For that reason,
There you go.
it's awful.
So we're barreling through these. So I'll just
Yeah.
do my number 2
Yeah,
now.
do your number 2.
I don't know if this count. I think it does, but I'm picking a single rider experience.
Okay.
The Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run single rider.
Yeah.
You just sit in an empty hallway. Now the regular ride, I think the queue is cool.
Yeah.
Like you're going through a workshop, the bay where they have parked the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Yep.
But the single rider, it is a stairway, hallway.
It's bland. It's
Yeah.
like there's nothing.
You're in
there.
a gray room. They did
Yeah.
not do anything to it.
Yep. And you miss like the animatronic.
Yep.
And
You don't get any of that.
You don't get any of that.
Yeah.
You just walk straight up, and you're at the split
Yep.
where they give you your jobs,
Yep.
and you go after the thing. And it's like there's so much cool stuff. And I've known people that are like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do single rider." It's like
Yeah.
you're not getting.
You're
the
missing
experience.
half the
You're
experience,
missing
yeah.
so much
Yep.
of the experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be my number 2.
Yeah.
That's just an awful show.
Yeah.
Awful show. Okay, so are you gonna do your number 1?
My number 1
Worst queue ever. The worst one.
isn't even a ride.
Oh.
It is something when I see it is such a pet peeve of mine, and I don't get why it's
Really?
there.
Okay.
It may be a little off.
I can't even guess what this is, yeah.
It's not even a ride.
Okay.
But we've probably talked about this before. There's always a mile-long queue just to stand in line for a corn dog at this cart right here.
Oh, that's your. It's not even.
It's not even a ride.
Yeah, there's a corn dog cart right there. Yeah.
And you can get that corn dog anywhere.
And it's more fresh at any other location.
These are the worst ones to get.
Yes.
It is the longest line for something you can just go
Yes.
and get anywhere else
Yeah.
with no line.
For the record, let's for the maybe those not in the know.
Yeah.
It's famous to get a corn dog at the Disneyland corn dog cart.
Yes.
They make them somewhere else and then wagon them over.
They're like they cook them somewhere else and they have them in this like a cooler.
Yes.
Like a thermal cooler. They just roll them in and
Yep.
they sell them right there. And they're not as fresh.
Maybe at one point they made them in the wagon. They don't do that now.
No.
But if you go to like Stage Door Cafe or
Which-
some other place,
Yeah.
they make them there so they're fresher.
Which never has a line.
No.
And you can do mobile order.
Yeah.
And so it is the most unnecessary line. And every time I walk, it's right at the end of Main Street. Every time I walk in, I'm like, I see people waiting, and it's like, you don't need to do this.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you could literally just go right over there, 30-second walk, and you can get them.
Yep.
And they're fresher and better.
Wow.
So
I did not think a food location was
weird.
going to have your number 1.
That one's just a big pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. I hear you. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. My number 1 worst queue. I think this may surprise you then.
It's a favorite ride.
It's a ride I like.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite ride, but it is a ride I like. But I am just, when I'm in it, I'm just like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Get me on the ride.
Yeah.
This is on both coasts.
Okay.
It may be a little better in Florida, I would argue, but here I'm just like, can we get on? Soarin'.
Yes.
I just am sitting in that hallway like, get me on this ride.
Yep.
Oh, and then you think you're in. Nope, you got to turn another corner. Oh, okay, are we there? No, you got to
Yep.
turn another corner.
I'm
over it.
It's the same reason I think Simpsons ride
Yeah.
gets such a has such a bad line.
Yes.
It's because there's only like 2 screens to see this in.
Yeah.
And they have to like get everybody out, seat everybody, and then play it, and then do it, and then that's
Yes.
it.
Yep.
So and the line is super long, and so when the sun, you're waiting outside a lot.
Yeah.
And then you finally get inside, and it's still so long to
Yep.
wait inside. Yeah.
Yep.
I get you on that one for sure.
So yeah, I don't know. It drives me. I
Yeah.
get like stir crazy. It's
Yep.
just Soarin'. You know, if 65-minute wait for Soarin', I'm gonna go crazy. I gotta get out of here.
Yep.
And I don't hate Soarin'. I like Soarin'.
No, Soarin's great.
And I'll even go hot take. I like both versions of Soarin'. People are always staging the like, no, the new one is so horrible. The old one is the only good one. Whatever. They're both corny. I like them both.
Yeah.
Like I didn't take the old one so seriously that there's some like artistic value that isn't in the second one.
Totally.
They're fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the queue, I'm just like, go on. Anyway, so that's my number one.
Yeah.
Tell me if you agree, disagree, on either of ours. Okay. Now, we went through the top 5 worst. We're gonna get to our number 1 favorite ride queue ever. But first, I think we should get honorable mentions.
Yeah. You want to do mine first?
I'll read mine first.
Okay.
And tell me if these are honorable mentions. This means they're not my number 1. They were eliminated from my top 5. But I want to give a shout out to the new Super Mario Kart ride.
That's my first honorable mention.
Oh, is that yours?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've converged again.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I think we're gonna have the same number 1 as well.
Maybe.
But honorable mention, the Mario Kart ride, fantastic.
So good.
As a Nintendo fan,
Yeah.
it's heaven.
It's got tons of cool stuff in
Yes.
it, like 3D elements. It's got
Yes.
like tons of stuff from the games, a lot of games. Like,
It's got Yoshi's Island stuff, and then it transitions into going into Bowser's Castle.
Yep.
The music
so
changes.
good.
Oh,
And then you hit 2 briefing rooms.
Yeah.
And I want to die.
that is what kept it off my
Yeah.
list.
2 briefing rooms, and then where you get the visor.
Yeah. I feel like
Awful.
I'm standing there for a year.
Awful.
Yeah. But it's such a good queue, I can't give it a bad review.
And I'm always in those rooms so
Yeah.
long that they start telling jokes.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
hate it.
Yeah.
And so
I'm with you.
And the ride's awesome. That queue up to that point, awesome.
Yes.
But it's those 2 rooms
At the end.
and the hat.
And the
before you
lead
go
in,
there.
the load in
Yeah.
is just like, kill me.
Yep.
So I agree with that. Okay. I'm going to rattle off, again, honorable mentions. Mickey, the new Mickey ride.
That's
Mickey and
I didn't
Minnie's
have
Run-
that on my list, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. A million cute things to look at.
You will find something that you go, oh, I remember that cartoon
Yes.
in there, for sure.
People who cared
Yeah.
filled that ride with love.
Yep.
Like they just put so much fun and cute stuff in it.
Totally.
From past Mickey cartoons.
Yep.
And they act like they're real props and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It kills me this isn't in my top 5. It hurts. But honorable mention, the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Dude, because I consider it like the stretch room and all that stuff. The only reason I didn't put it in is you're still kind of waiting in line. The stretch room is amazing.
Yeah.
But before and after that, you're kind of still waiting in line. But the atmosphere is so good.
Yeah.
So it kills me this is not on my
I
list.
can definitely see that.
But it should be.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be in my top list and it didn't make it either. But Roger Rabbit.
Oh, I forgot about Roger Rabbit.
Roger
that's a good
Rabbit,
honorable mention.
you are in the back streets of Toontown.
Yeah.
The only thing that holds me back, again, is I feel like I'm stuck there a lot.
Yes.
Where it's like, move on.
I've been there when the sweet spot when it gets so dead, they
Yeah.
close that and you just go right onto the ride.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
But then there's the sweet spot of it's not so crowded that
Yeah.
they close that, but it's not so crowded that you're
you're
stuck
stuck.
in there.
Yeah.
So you can walk kind of through it and take in everything.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
But you're looking in back doors at
Yeah.
stuff. There's parts where you could kind of look through the cracks and see the ride.
Yep. That's the only time I've ever seen that, where you can look through the queue,
Yeah.
like look through the thing and see the ride. People
Yeah.
like the ride going and people going
Yeah.
by. I've never seen that before.
So That should be in my top 5.
Yeah.
I really was going to until Star Tours bumped it out.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what it is. I've always loved the Star Tours queue, so I had to do
Yeah.
it. But Roger Rabbit should, if I was sane, it would be in my top 5.
Yeah.
So that's not your number 1 then.
No.
Okay, so all right, we're on the same page. And then my last one, honorable mention for me was Avatar. You already went into
Okay.
it, so we don't need to go into it.
Yeah,
But I wanted to pick that, but
Yeah.
it didn't fit. So that's my other honorable mention. What are yours?
You named most of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
My final one.
Yeah.
That I just love it. I just love the queue. And it had to go in my honorable mentions. It probably would have never gotten in my top 5, but the Calico Mine Train.
Oh, that is a good honorable
I love
mention.
the water features, and
Yeah.
I've never in my life seen a line like the queue where you have water going along like almost a river following
Yeah.
the whole thing down to
Yeah.
the bottom, and
You see kids fall into it all the time. It's great. Yeah,
I just love when there's a lot of movement in
Yeah.
a queue like that. And
that's a good point.
it was just an all. It was never probably going to be in my top 5,
Yeah.
but
Same, but
it is so cool. I always
Yeah.
love doing that. You got a waterfall coming down, and you have water just flowing down the thing.
it's just a pleasant experience.
yeah. And
Even when
everybody
you
gets grossed out when I wash my hands in the water for fun. I know it grosses people out, so I just do it anyway.
yeah, it's a nice, peaceful respite before you get on the mine train.
Yeah.
I think that's a great choice. All right. Number 1, your number 1
We may
right
have the
cue.
same-
I think it's gonna be the same one.
I thought we were gonna hit our, like one of us was gonna hit a number 1, like the other person's number 1.
I think we're gonna have the same one. I
Okay,
knew it. I knew
You
it.
want me to say it?
Go ahead and say it.
Casey June. No.
Oh, I was like, what?
Indiana Jones.
My number 1 is Indiana Jones. I told you we
Yep.
were gonna have the same
Yep.
top 1.
Tony-
Indiana Jones in the Temple of the Forbidden Eye.
Yeah, Tony Baxter knocked it out of the park. It from like being
It's perfect.
being a kid and just going like just showing a temple and go, well, what's in there?
Yes.
And actually getting to go in there.
Yes.
And while you're finding out stuff, you're like setting up traps. You're
Yep.
finding skeletons
Yep.
and stuff that I didn't know were there.
Yep.
And it's all organic.
Yep.
It's nothing's like I said before, like interactive in the point where it's like a game or a time killer.
but that's interesting though. That I don't want to cut you off,
no,
but
no.
you mentioned earlier you don't like interactive stuff,
but
but this does have a bunch of that.
It does, but it's organic.
Yeah, and they're actually. This is an interesting
Yeah.
point because I'm like, what's different about it? Because in this queue, they actually have signs up saying, "Don't do this."
Yeah, it's like, hey, yeah, don't touch don't touch the bamboo, please. This
Yeah.
is just
Don't pull the
support.
rope. Yeah.
And don't pull this rope. So you can hear somebody down there.
Yeah.
chiseling away. Like, please don't pull the rope. You pull
Yeah.
it, and he's like, oh no.
And hear somebody die in
hear
there.
somebody fall.
Yeah.
And this was 1995, and
Yeah.
I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
No queue had ever had like elements like that.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
So it was so cool. Apparently, I heard there was stuff that they wanted to do. They took it out,
Yeah.
like pressure pads on the ground
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Where you because it says don't step on these.
Yeah, and that never got put in. It's
Yeah.
still there, but like never got put in.
Man.
Our number one was
that's-
the same.
But that's an interesting point, though. About it feeling organic. It
Yeah.
isn't like here's a time waster game. Here's a thing to make a sound
touch
or whatever.
these, make sound,
It
like-
feels like in that universe, these things should do those things.
Yes.
It's not just there to entertain your kids.
Yep.
That's a really great point.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I never thought about that. That it works there, but not in other stuff.
Yep.
To me, they always talk about story. Oh, what we care about with building attractions is story.
Yeah.
Story is not always the best thing for a ride.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean didn't need a story. Haunted Mansion doesn't have a story.
Yeah.
Their experiences. Their whatever.
Yeah.
Is it snowing?
It is snowing.
Oh, okay. The
I think
Frozen.
Frozen Float ends the parade,
Okay.
so it's snowing.
All right. Well, there you go. I'm like. Anyway. So they always say that, but what is it? Oh, it's they treat it like a book report. Oh, this, then this, then this, then this. That's
Yeah.
not necessarily good.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones does it perfectly, where the story, it's got story front to back,
Yeah.
but it puts you into it. Just
Yep.
like Rise of the Resistance does it too.
Yep.
It isn't about Luke. It isn't about, Rey is going to do this. It's
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
And Indiana Jones makes you Indiana Jones.
Yep.
They do it,
Indiana Jones stuck in here. You got to go find him.
He's somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it puts you in the seat of it, where it's like, hey, there's the temple. You may not want to go in there. Oh, you're going in? Don't look at the statue.
Yeah.
If you see her eyes, don't look.
Bad news.
Yeah, and it puts all the responsibility on you.
Yeah.
So it really pulls you into the adventure. You go in, again, especially as a kid, you're walking through that courtyard. It's like, we're going in that temple, okay? Yeah. And you go in, and it's like, no, you're leaving the park. You're going into a temple. And again, it's another great trick, because it makes you feel like, oh, we're walking through a temple. It's a big trick. This is what I think is so brilliant about a queue. It's a trick to make you okay with walking back. The building for the ride is like back where you parked.
Yeah, it's so far away.
It's so far away, but they trick you into doing that walk.
Yeah, because you're going through a temple.
Yeah, it feels like, oh, I'm just in Adventureland. I'm walking through a temple. No, you're walking all the way back to the parking, to the bus station or the tram station, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you just are so deep into that world, and it feels like you're really exploring a temple. And then you go in, the movie's playing on, and it's another vessel for storytelling, that they got this old newsreel telling you what happened, like, oh, people walked into the temple and walked out Rockefellers, and that people got rich,
Yeah, or younger because of the, like, Fountain of Youth and all that kind of stuff.
And it kind of prepares you for what might happen on the ride. You might go down a path with riches. You might go down a path that is like the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
You might go, whatever. They do all these little things that set you up for what's actually going to happen on the ride. And then that ride kicks off, and everything you were warned about goes wrong. It's like, someone looked, you're done, that's it, you're dead.
Go over here.
And then it all goes wrong, but that queue.
But that lead up to it is great.
The queue is half the experience. Yeah. And there's just no topping it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance has more technical, like, wizardry. Like, whoa. Yep. But the blueprint is Indiana Jones. Yep. That is, like, perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
That's front to back a perfect experience.
Yep.
And it enhances the ride. You could just, if the ride loaded in just some blank building, it'd still be a fun ride.
Yeah.
But half of it would be missing.
Yep.
Whereas the way it is now, half the fun is going through that temple.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I knew we were going to have the same number one, because how do you top that?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy. I really wasn't sure what we were going to... All right. Next worst one. But no, we were talking about the thing that we not felt bad, but like we're bummed out on is some of our favorite rides didn't make it on the list. As I mentioned, Haunted Mansion was one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
But like Pirates, it's like I never really care about the queue for that.
No.
And here it's just basically like get in the building and get on the boat.
Yep.
Now then once you're on the boat, you go through the bayou. That's really cool. But the line itself, who cares?
Yeah.
But in Florida, you go through that Spanish prison. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pirates, I don't really do it for the queue. It's not. It's not part of it. Indiana Jones, it's part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of the experience. But yeah, Pirates is never. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, apologies to all pirates. Anyway, I think that's it. I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover.
Yeah.
I am curious if anyone watching feels different. Like I said, if you disagree or if there's one we're leaving out. I know we always gravitate towards Disney, but I had some Universal choices in there. Yeah. But I want to know if there's any like maybe we haven't been to or haven't seen that you think is like, yo, you guys would love the queue for this. Like you'd love it. Either it's impressive or you'll die laughing. By all means, let us know if there's any that fell through the cracks. But otherwise, I think that's it. We want to do, and another thing too is we're going to do future episodes, of course. We'll be back. We want to do an episode on VIP experiences.
Yes.
We did do the Universal VIP tour recently.
We have a lot to talk about.
We haven't even talked about it.
Yeah.
We want to do an episode on that. There's a few other ideas floating around. If there's anything, as always, that you want us to cover, like, yo, you've never done an episode on this ride. Yeah. The only thing annoying sometimes, no offense to anybody, but sometimes I say this and I'll get a million requests and it's like, we already did that episode. It's like, oh, you got to do a Haunted Mansion episode. It's like,
we did.
yeah, I did that. So check the playlist. We have a whole on my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Rocco Botte. You can also get us on your favorite podcast app. But
Yeah.
look at the past episodes, see what we've already covered. And if there's anything we've missed, let us know. Also, a lot of people asking thoughts on. We've talked about the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser,
Yes.
the Star Wars Hotel.
Mhm.
And I have expressed, I want to do it. The feasibility of actually doing it or another story.
Yeah.
But I want to go. But now they announced it's closed.
Mhm.
And not only that, but like the few dates until it closes are
Gone.
sold out, so it's
Yeah.
gone. People want to know thoughts. I'm just gonna say I always have a plan. A fail-safe was placed in motion. And if it's something that I want to do, I will always find a way. Do not doubt me. Do not question my ability. So that's all I'm going to say. I now, what is the plan? I don't even,
Don't know yet.
I don't necessarily know. But guys, put the energy out there. I'm already there. I'm already on the Halcyon ship. That's it. That's the end of the story. So now that I've said that, that's it. So doubters, haters, the discussion's over. That's all I want. That's my final word on the Galactic Star Cruiser closure. I had a feeling that, it
Yeah.
didn't look. I think anyone would tell you, even people who went and loved it,
Yeah.
were like, how can this sustain?
Yeah.
It's so expensive and it's so this or that people don't want to go. So yeah, how can it sustain? And so I don't think this is a crazy turn of events. Crazy it's happening so soon.
Yeah.
But I am not acknowledging the closure. I'm just simply waiting for my moment that I will be there. The closure means nothing to me. So that's my official stance. I will be there at some point. That's not for me to figure out. That's fate. That's man upstairs to make it happen. So I'm kind of a prayer guy. So that's me. Anyway. All right, that's it. Anything you got? Any
No,
final
that was
thoughts
it.
on
I thought I enjoyed our lists and everything like that. I think we're pretty like-minded in terms of what we like.
Yeah, I don't think either. I was waiting to see if there was one that you picked, or I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
But these weren't crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like you had a couple. What was it? We ranked like top attractions or something.
Yeah.
There was one where I was like, you put that.
Yeah.
What
I
was
can't
blown
remember.
away
We did
by?
that. We did that like a couple years ago. I think.
I think your number one was Indiana Jones,
Yes,
right?
my number one was
That
Indiana.
didn't surprise me too
Yeah.
much.
I don't remember. I'll have to look back.
There was something where I was like, huh?
Yeah. I can't remember now.
Yeah. All right, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
We'll go back and I'll review the tapes to see what I hated about your list. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you everybody. I don't know what to end on. I want to like get up and show him something, but I think this leg fell asleep in this chair. So I might limp over to something. What's something cool to end it on?
I don't know.
All right. We're gonna end this on fried chicken.